And we're live. Welcome to Nomad EDC. I got my boy Grady's Gear with me today. And I'm your favorite knife tuber, Richter Knives. We got Brian Keanison from Keanison Knives on the show today. So welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All
Welcome,
right.
man.
Thank you.
Let's hit the
Cool to be
chat.
here.
See you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Marco in the house. What's up, Marco? We
Marco,
got Jason. What's going on, Jason?
good afternoon.
Let some people pile in here. We'll let some people pile in here.
Yeah.
So, what we were talking about earlier, I want to talk about your knives, specifically your customs and your productions that you had going on. I'm personally interested in the Fido. I think that production run was really awesome. I watched a ton of YouTube videos on it and stuff, and I know that from talking to you, you don't, you're not really pursuing production models anymore.
Not as much. I mean, it's something that is always a possibility. It's just, we've, over the last, I want to say like 2 years, we've tried to move more toward the US, however you want to call it, the MAC, the machine assisted custom, or like the US production stuff.
Mhm.
Just, in an interest of keeping everything in the US, but it's hard to compete with the price points of the overseas production stuff. I mean, that's the enticing
Understandable.
part is, especially comparable materials, right? Like I can't do carbon fiber and, some of the more exotic steels in the US at a, $300 price point, which is kind of where you get caught in that. But no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, they're great knives. They do a wonderful job. I think the Fido is Riot, which, I mean, we all know Riot does an amazing job with all their production stuff. And then we did a Basset Hound with Best Tech, which was, I think, one of the best knives Best Tech ever made, in my humble opinion. But yeah, they were both really fun, and I'd like to do more with it. It's just, we're a small shop, so keeping focus on a couple projects at a time always, kind of the way it rolls.
Right, right. I think the Basset Hound was awesome too. That was the one with the Tiffany blue, or
Yes, sir.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Sweet.
I
Yeah,
love
that
that
did really
model.
well. It was really well received. I mean, the Fido did well too. We're talking about it a little bit. The Fido wasn't one that we ever did in house. It was just a design I came up with that I sent over to Riot. So it didn't quite have the following that like the Bassett we had done by hand before that.
Right.
And people love that blade profile a lot. Our Alpha is one of our more famous designs, and that Bassett is kind of similar. However you want to call it, sheep's foot, or I don't, I don't do well with the names of blade shapes, but yeah, I love the Fido. I call it like a gentleman's folder, right? It's
Right.
got a nice hollow grind on it, super sharp, very useful. But like we were talking a little bit, it's a very polarizing design. Like some people love it, other people it's not really their jam. They would prefer something a little larger. But like I said earlier, the action is really cool. People pick it up and they start flicking it, and it kind of puts a smile on their face.
Yeah.
We released it, I think, at Blade Show Atlanta or Blade Show Texas 3 years ago. And it was just, it was kind of like, let's see how this goes. And we put it on the table, and, people picked it up. And again, either people pick up that flipper tab and they hit it right away and it flips and they love it, or they kind of struggle with it because they're used to, um, what do they call it? Like a push button instead of a light switch.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know how you
Right.
use flipper tabs. Sometimes you push on the end and it flips better than pulling down. The
Yeah.
Fido is really more of a light switch flick than a button push. So some people have a hard time with that. But knives aren't, every knife isn't for everybody. But yeah, it's really fun.
Jay, can you pull up the Fido so people can see what the Fido is, please? Yeah, that thing
That's
looks
it.
sick.
Yeah, it went through a couple ideations there. It was a really interesting design.
Yeah, that one's sick, and I like how that flipper tab kind of hides whenever it's opened.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
one of the
sick.
cooler parts.
What
Yeah,
was
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. What's up,
what
Mike?
was the inspiration behind that? What made you think of that?
It's kind of like I said, it's kind of like a gentleman's folder. It was my play on like my dad's old buck knife or something, right? With like the nail
Okay.
nick in it. It was all that, but then with a flipper tab is kind of what I wanted it to be. And when I'm designing knives, I always start with the blade shape, and then I kind of try to figure out like, what can I do with the function? Is the flipper tab going to be a good place? Can I hide it? One of my buddies, Jim Vandevelt with HMC Knives, he does, in my opinion, he's the king of hiding a flipper tab. He's got one of those designs where it's high on the knife when it's closed and then it disappears when you open it, which is amazing. You know, I've tried it many different ways and he's really got it nailed down. But I tried it with the Fido a lot too, was to, you know, keep that flipper tab as tucked as possible. It's not quite like his, but so I made the flipper tab small when it's closed and then tried to hide it when it's open, and it worked out. It's really cool.
Yeah, the lines on that look really good. It looks good. And closed too. Not just
I like
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the pocket clip on that, man. The pocket clip looks like it's got great retention. Looks like it rides pretty deep in the pocket as well.
Yep, I like deep pocket carry. I try to keep the clips as far back as possible all the time, and I always think like a knife should look as good closed as it does open.
I agree.
That's one of those things about folding knives. I have this conversation with people all the time, and I love having it. But you know, I never really got into making fixed blades, although I'd like to try. I like folding knives because they're so. The word I'm going to use is restrictive, but like the design kind of defines itself, right? Like you could have a really cool blade shape, but unless it nests in some handles and you can get the function in there, it's kind of useless, right? So I like that kind of dictates the way that it comes out. Is, you know, how does this all work? Can you fit function in there? And once it's together, does it look any good? I mean, I've dropped more than a few designs just because it didn't work out. Yeah, E-Knives, give them a shot.
That's the one I was telling you I was looking at. That's the one I found because I was like, oh, I like that one with the bronze, and I was like, I found it.
Yeah, that titanium one took off really quickly. It has a good weight to it. The carbon fiber is good because I added some brass to it. So the carbon fiber one has a brass backspacer and brass pivot collars, because it needed a little weight. You know, the titanium has a good weight to it naturally. It's not too heavy, but and the carbon fiber one was super light with titanium. So when I put a brass backspacer in it, it felt a little bit more substantial in your hand.
I love the size of it too. It's like a 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle, 7 inches overall length. It's like the perfect size. It's around the size of like a small Sabenza, you know.
Yep.
So that's like perfect size range for like a small gentleman's carry folder that, you know, just for everyday tasks. I love it.
Yeah. Like I said, like it's like my dad or my grandfather's, you know, buck knife with the nick in it. It was kind of that similar design, but with a modern flow to it.
I love how you use minimal billboarding too. You don't put too much with logos and stuff like that. You get some companies and they put everything on the blade. Just they put logo steel manufactured in. They put everything on the blade. I hate that. I like as clean as possible look to it. And that's real clean looking.
I don't even care much about the logo. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't bother me, but
yeah,
I like it clean.
Yeah, I always wanted the logo. When I designed the logo, it was like it should be like a brand on there, right? Like if you know, Texas, if you did a quick brand on the blade, and I like putting it in the grind. It kind of leaves some authenticity to it. You know, this is our mark here. But yeah, it was all very purpose driven. It's kind of our signature these days. But yeah, it's a good looking, and it like I said, it's very functional. That hollow grind on that little blade is super sharp. I mean, it's very useful.
Let's talk real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Real quick. So, I mean, you've gotten to this point making things like this, and it wasn't easy. I mean, you went through a lot of stuff to do it. Just anybody knows that if you're trying to make any kind of knife, at what point did you know, okay, I might be good enough to sell these things?
I'm still questioning myself every day in the shop, to be honest. No, I mean, so we did the first knife I designed was called the Stray, and we still make a variation of it these days. But the first Stray was a cool knife. I actually took it to Blade Show Atlanta in like 2015 or something like that. 2015, I believe, and the knife community is really welcoming. I got to tell you, like, there's not a lot of professions, especially, where it's a trade, where people will say, "Hey, here's how I do this," or "Here's, where you're missing the boat," or, give you actual creative input on how to improve the product. But we brought a couple to Blade Show Atlanta, and it was really well received. I mean, the people, it was far from a perfect knife. Let me put it that way. It had lock rock, and the detent wasn't great, and the action wasn't great, but um, people were really open about it, and people seemed interested. They're like, "Yeah, this is really cool. I'd buy one of these." So we went home and did something that I do not recommend any new knife maker do, which is take pre-orders for a design. Right, like.
Ooh.
I've had people ask me like, "Hey, will you post my pre-order?" I'm like, "Man, don't do this. This is not a good idea." But we did it anyway because I was, ignorant in the whole thing, and we sold, like 15 or 20 knives, and then we had to figure out how to make them, um, and it just kind of took off from there. This is a really fun community of really welcoming people, and they're down to try. I call them early adopters, right? Like we have a lot of early adopters in our industry that are down to try people's new stuff, and they'll
Sure.
let you know if it doesn't work well, but they'll kick in on it. And so I was like, "Hey, I think we can do this." It's a fun. I love making things, and so I was like, "Yeah, this is a cool thing. We can get into it." And then, to answer your question in a roundabout way, what really got me was, we had book spots for like a year and a half, right? I had 3 designs and like a lot of people on the books that had prepaid, and it was either I'm going to refund all these people their money and kick rocks, or you got to get serious about it and start making them. So that was really where the rubber hit the road, and it was like, yeah, we gotta buckle down and do this, otherwise a lot of people are going to come after me.
Yeah, right.
Which has
Nice.
happened. I mean, there's some bad stories about some makers that haven't followed through on that, and that's why it's so dangerous. Do not take pre-orders. If you're out there and you want to start a knife company, pre-ordering is not the way to do it. You're still going to pay for your machines. It's
Yeah, that's got
it's
to be.
going to catch
Yeah.
you.
If you think about it, like when you have everybody's money and you haven't made the knife yet, that's got to be a little stressful.
Oh,
It's got to
totally.
be a lot of stressful,
A
man.
lot of stressful. Yeah, and with handmade knife making, the other side of that is like you're not always going to hit it every time, right? I mean, you're going to screw up, especially when you're new. And how many screw ups does it take to get a good product out to people? And you don't want to put your name on a crappy product. So
Yeah,
there was a lot of, toss that one to the side and let's start over. And that's just money spent. It's way, you're good. The money is still going to catch you if you're spending it, right? I mean, it's not free because somebody else paid for it. And if you're screwing it up, it's still money out of your pocket. So
Right.
might as well just make it and sell it as they come up and hope that you can catch up, right? Rather than owing people money.
Yeah.
So
Ed said, I need to play with his customs. I'd love to photograph his work. Ed's a photographer, and
right on.
he does photographs at EDC and stuff like that. So
Cool.
yeah,
I try, but I'm not that good at it. Yeah, I get a lot of photographers that want to take pictures and stuff, and I totally like I'd be down. The thing is that, we only make so many per week, and when you got to pay the bills, it's like this one's done. Let's sell it and get it out the door.
yep.
They don't hang around too long, hopefully. So yeah, if I have something sitting around, Ed, that you want to take a picture of, reach out and we'll see if it's still around.
He also said we were just talking today on one of the discords about Keanison in the blue tick, the Civivi version, but still.
Yeah, that's on my hat right here. Yeah, that was a fun project. We just left Blade Show Texas, but we won an award for that blue tick in 2023, I think, at Blade Show Texas. For it was the first year they did best Mac machine assisted custom knife, and it was fun. It's a great design, and when Civivi picked it up, like we were talking about earlier, it's impossible to kind of compete with what the overseas production guys do. But it's really cool to be able to tell people like this is like a $60 to $90 knife. Go pick one up or pick 2 up and throw it in your tackle box. That the people I grew
Yeah.
up with, they're used to paying more like 60 to 90 bucks for a knife. Like that was probably the ceiling. So
yeah.
it's fun to be able to tell people to go pick one of those up, and they did a great job with that too. I think I have 2 or 3 of them in my collection that I carry around every once in a while.
So what do you carry? Like, do you have like, you have 2 or 3 knives that you just rotate, or you have like a collection, or what's going on there?
I mean, I started as a knife collector, so I definitely have a collection. But I was just talking to somebody at Blade Show, Texas, about this last weekend. You know, people kind of expect you to carry your own knife. It's one of those things when you tell people you're a knife maker. I have one of our early runs of our. This is the Bull Terrier. So this is a U.S. kind of production thing that we do with Hypercut Manufacturing. Dylan Davis. He does all the machining for us, and then I do the hand grind and finish and all that stuff on it. It's pretty cool. But
That
I've
looks
been carrying this
awesome.
around. Yeah, this is. I should send you one of these to check out. These are really fun. All titanium. This series was in ABL, I believe, something along those lines. I had these PVD coated, black and gold, but it's a great EDC. It really, this is another one of those designs that's super polarizing. Either people love this shape, or they hate it. But
The
it's,
blade shape looks gnarly, man. I love
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. And it's one of those, so I tell people, like, this is what I wanted a Spyderco to be. The original design that we do handmade has a spider hole in it, which I do pay them every year for the rights to use that. But it has the round spider hole in it, and it's it's kind of got that Spyderco vibe to it, but titanium and flippy and all that good stuff. So yeah, I like this knife a lot. It's very useful. It's got kind of like it's got a really broad tip on it. That light's ruining it, but it's got a very broad tip on it. So I tell people I don't recommend that you pry things with knives, but if you had to, it could probably stand up to it.
I like the curvature of the handle. It looks like it just curves into your hand when you're holding it really well.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
got a little straight razor vibe to it too. You can kind of
Yeah.
up on it and put your hand on it. It's a
That's
really cool
freaking cool.
design. It's one of my favorites we've done. We're trying to pump these out.
And I'm noticing a theme with all of your knives. Are they all named after dogs?
Yeah, so I don't correct many people. The company is actually named after 2 of our dogs that passed away years ago. So Keen and Madison. So it's Keanison Knives. It's their 2 names put together.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
Right.
so all the knives are named something dog oriented. The first was the Stray. We have an Alpha. There's a Mastiff, Bull Terrier. This actually got a little Bull Terrier vibe to it. So, but yeah, they all kind of do the dog thing.
That's cool because I noticed with the packaging on there, especially like when I was looking at a video on the unboxing experience of like the FIDA or whatever, it looked like you're opening up like dog treats, but it had like the ingredients on the back was
Yeah.
like titanium, M390. I thought that was such a cool play on that, and I was like, that's a really cool unboxing experience, and just something that's specific to you. I
Yep.
thought that was really cool.
Did you
Yeah,
think
I
of
like
that?
Yeah, I like to be clever.
That's pretty cool.
But, I like I grew up. We all grew up with like Apple products, right? And that unboxing and that experience of like opening something. And at the time, one of my daughters was into these dolls. They're called LOLs. It was like a ball with all this crap
Oh
in it.
yeah,
And you had to like rip it off and rip this open and rip this open. And I was like, well, people really, kids specifically, but people like this experience of like tearing things open and ripping into things and all that. So I kind of thought, well, how do we do that with our product and make it a more unique experience? Because, most of us, we open that box with the knife in it and we pull the thing out, we unzip it, we throw everything to the side and,
Yeah.
get at the knife and never see it again. So it seems
Yeah.
like, why am I giving you another zipper case for a knife? Let's do something different. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. That's part of the reason I'd love to do another production is like, it's hard to do that with the handmaids or the small batch production stuff. It's like you got to do volume to do that stuff.
yeah,
And I'd like to try that again because I really had a good time doing that.
That's neat.
yeah, man. I can't wait until you do another production run, man. I would love to see you do another production run.
I think we kind of have to. That's the feedback I got at Blade Show last week too. Is like people are. Again, it's hard to beat that price point, right? Like if you can get it in there and people can afford it, and it's really fun to get knives in people's hands. I mean, again, like the Civivi collaboration, it's really nice that people are able to go buy those and pick them up and have a Keanison in their pocket, even if it's not coming out of our shop. I love seeing that. I like hearing people saying, I carry this around, or I love this
Right.
experience. There were at least 10 or 12 people that pulled out their Basset hounds at Blade Show. So that was
Really? That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, really cool.
Yeah. Jay, can you pull up the Basset Hound for us, please, so people can take a look at that? That's another really nice design
Yeah, so as
that
he's
I
pulling
really
it up,
like.
I'll explain. So the Basset Hound is kind of like the Bull Terrier, where it started with a spider hole in the blade. So the handmade ones have a perfectly round hole, and then when we went into production, you can't use the spider hole in production, for obvious reasons.
Right.
So yeah, that's the production one. Actually, that first one up top left is the handmade. So you see the spider hole in it.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
that
freaking
one.
sweet.
And then the one on the coffee mug there that Screaming Pirate EDC took that picture. That's the production.
Yeah, see, I love that. I love
I like
that.
them both.
I think he took that picture. Knife Club, maybe. But yeah, really cool. It was very well received. People carry them a lot, and again, it really, somebody told me a good story when there were, I want to say it was in Oklahoma. They had some tornadoes, and they had some guys out there repairing the power lines, and he took his Basset Hound out to one of the guys that was repairing the power line and kind of let him use it to cut some stuff. And the guy's like, "Man, this is a great knife," so he let him keep it, which was
What?
really
That's
cool of him.
awesome.
Yeah, and then the guy actually ended up coming back a couple months later because they had another storm with the knife, and he's like, "Man, it's been a great knife, but it's kind of dulled out. Can you sharpen it?" And so he sent it back for sharpening, it was a really cool experience to somebody that's using it repeatedly, and
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Somebody actually uses their, you know what I mean? Like, they're
right,
not just taking
exactly.
Instagram photos. Like, he's actually using that thing, and
That's how it
loves
should
it.
be, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
that's
good stories.
awesome.
Absolutely.
The people send
Are
me.
those riding on bearings or are those on washers?
Pretty much everything we make is on bearings.
Okay.
I can't think of off the top of my head. We've done a couple on washers, but pretty much everything is on some kind of stainless or ceramic bearing.
Yeah, I freaking dig that, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
your design language just speaks to me. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
dig
Yeah,
it.
I have some buddies, Israel at Arcane Design. He comes by every once in a while and we chat, and he tells me that there's something cohesive about my designs that like says something about me, but I can't see it. I feel like they're all very different. They all kind of have their own vibe, but apparently I have a style.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. That's for sure. I'm definitely getting like a hybrid Spyderco kind of vibe,
Yeah.
but it's definitely unique, and I like it.
Thank you.
I like
Thank you.
it. Yeah.
I really, like I said, I love designing folding knives. Like they kind of dictate, and that's why you see a lot of folding knives that look like other folding knives, is because you get to a point where you're like, okay, this shape is cool, but now you got to make it set in the handles, and you kind of get stuck in this like, oh, this looks like this because I can't put this in here any other way, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, what has not been made? It's kind of hard to say. There's so
Yeah,
many knives out there. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to be original. I
totally.
mean,
I
you're
agree.
not copying people, but at the same time, there's something that probably looks like what somebody's going to make.
Oh yeah, I get people sending me. I had somebody the other day send me a picture that was like, "Hey, this looks like your." It might have been the Basset Hound. Can I send you a picture of it so you can let me know if it's too close? And he sent me a picture. It was so far. I was like, no, man, that's not even close. Trust me. If we were splitting hairs like that, there would never be anything new. Like
Oh yes, right.
it's not like that. I mean, unless you're, you know, tracing it out kind of thing, it's usually going to look different.
I got a question. Um, I know you said that you were kind of thinking about dabbling with fixed blades. With your design language, have you ever thought about designing a pry bar?
A pry bar, yeah. I played with it a few times. There's so many guys that do it so well. Uh, Nice Guy Machine or
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he does so well with the pry bars. I've thought about it. I like making things useful, right? Like I tend to overcomplicate things. I did one actually. I've done two fixed blades, and the one that I really like is called the Mongrel, and man, I overcomplicated the crap out of it. Like it's got 4 pieces total, but 2-piece scales on either side. It's like this weird blade shape. I tend to overcomplicate things. So I've looked at pry bars a few times and been like, yeah, I want it to do something. Like I want it to have like a wrench on it or a ruler or something that like is not
Right.
just a pry bar. So I have some sketches and things of them, but I've never pulled the trigger on it. I mean, I probably should, but it's one of those things. It's like I want it to be different, and the guys that
That's what I'm thinking. With your design language, man,
Yeah.
I think it would be different. Like I was like,
it's
that
just
would be
the guys that do it well do it so well, and I feel that way about a lot of things. Like I design knives, I think pretty decently. Like that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And like Archie at Nice Guy, like he does such a great job with pry bars. Like every time I own like 3 of them. Every time he kicks one out, I'm like,
I own
man,
quite a few. Yeah.
yeah, it's not that much different. Like but it's different enough that I'm like, dang, that is really cool the way he did that. But yeah, I should probably get into that. I'm gonna put that on the list.
Yeah, that would be cool, dude. I just think with your design language that you would make something pretty sick and unique.
It's one of those things. Like again, like I don't see it when I draw something. It's just to me, it's normal, but other people see the language in it. So I gotta figure out a way to kind of bust out of that a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Levi said, "Am I the only one seeing everyone lag every 3 seconds?"
Not me. I can hear myself perfectly.
I can read his lips perfectly, dude. I'm having no issues this time. Yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm trying to keep my hand. I'm trying to keep my hand
Crap,
out from in
dude.
front of my
As soon
face.
as I said it,
No, dude, you're
as soon as I
good.
said
You're
it,
good.
good to me, it lags. As soon as I said
So
Don't jinx
I got
it,
a
Levi.
question for you that's not knife related.
All right.
It's kind of serious. It's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
You know?
You were prepping me for this before the show. All right, let's go.
Yeah, dude. All right. So I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian. I love pizza, And
It was about pizza, Mike.
yeah, man.
where he's going.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Does pineapple belong on pizza? Not in my opinion. It's funny you say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just had
Thank you.
pizza for
He's
dinner.
with me, Mike. He's with me.
But my daughter is 18 and she's
Yeah.
in the rodeo right now, and she got pineapple on her pizza. So if you ask my daughter, yes.
Have you
For
tried
me
it?
personally? No.
Have you tried it, or it just don't sound good?
Oh yeah, no, many times I have tried it. I love food, so if it's something that you say is good, I'm gonna try it, and it's not bad. Like I wouldn't kick it out of bed, but I'm not gonna. It's not what
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
order.
order it. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you order?
right.
What's your go-to?
If it's just me, like if I order a pizza, I'm pretty bland. Like I love sausage and cold tomato, like not cooked. I don't like for them to put it in the oven, like put it on after. That's what I grew up eating, and that's my go-to. But I mean, when my wife and I are getting pizza, it's usually just combination, like the onions and peppers and olives and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
dig all that stuff. I'm not picky. I like food.
He's like, I'll eat it all. It's all good.
I'm down. Yeah.
Second question.
All right.
What's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Ninja Turtle was a good one. I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. I'm probably a Donatello guy.
Damn, dude, that's like a second Donatello that we've gotten.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you? I'm curious. What are the opinions here?
Mine's Raphael. I'm a Raphael guy all the way.
Right on. The size. Okay. And the
Michelangelo.
attitude. Which one?
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. Okay. No Leo, huh? Leo
Yeah.
was. I figured the
He's too
swords were good.
bossy for me, man. He's a little too bossy. Like, I don't know.
We're
His
in a knife group.
personality doesn't vibe with me.
No, yeah, he is the boss of it. But we're in a knife group. I figured the guy with the sword, somebody was going to be in the guy with the
Right.
sword.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. I know, right? The knife group, and you pick the guy with a stick. That's funny.
I know. What is that all about? No, same thing. I like his attitude. I think he's got a chill attitude. We could hang out.
Yeah, dude.
Let's do some shop talk real quick because you're in the shop a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm in the shop a lot too. I do leather work, but I just love shop talk. I love like seeing other people's shops, seeing the flow, how they do things, what kind of tools they have. What are you doing in your shop when you're are you listening to music while you're working? Do you just put in the headphones, or do you like it quiet, or what's going on in the shop while you're working?
It's a good question. So I work with one other dude that's been we've been working together for years. He's pretty much the other half of Keanison Knives. His name's Will. So there's just two of us. Will does most of the machining, so he runs the mills and that stuff, and I do the grinding, finish work, shaping, all the real dirty stuff is in my alley. And it's funny because we don't talk a whole lot. Like he's in half the shop and I'm in the other half of the shop. And we kind of just vibe on our own. So I grew up with movies and like that kind of stuff, and I've seen pretty much everything. And what I've done in my life, I used to do 3D modeling and stuff on computers. I tend to put like a movie or TV show on or something, and I don't have to watch it. Like it's just kind of in the background.
Yeah.
I like the chatter and like the witty banter and stuff. And I just kind of zone out, and that's also like my clock. So if I put a movie on and, you know, I'm in the shop and 2 hours later I haven't moved or left and the movie's over, like that's how I gauge how long I've been in there.
Okay.
Because otherwise I can be in there for like 6 hours and
That's crazy. He knows when that thing's over. Oh, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's my gauge of time.
Yeah.
So I usually have some kind of like random TV show that I've watched 100 times. Like I have legitimately seen The Sopranos at least 30 times. Well, not seen, listened to The Sopranos at least 30 times in the last few years.
Wow.
I like their I like the script. You know, I like their commentary back and forth. But yeah, that's usually I throw some music on every once in a while, but I find it to be really repetitive, and I don't have time to like click through the playlist. Right, like once I've heard the same song 3 times in 2 hours, like I'm really over it. You know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we're going to talk about movies here in a little while because we're movie freaks too.
Yeah.
But sticking with the shop thing, so tools, like what is it that you really, really want that you don't have right now?
Really, really want that I don't have. Well, I think as a knife maker, you can never have enough grinders.
True that.
I always have a grinder or two that I would like to have. Specifically, right now, hardware. You know those guys, the blue. Is it hardware? And the name's going to escape me. It's like a ridiculously high-end blue grinder that my buddy Princeton Wong has in his shop. Hardcore grinders. It's beautiful. It's so gorgeous, and I want one real bad. I just can't afford it. So that's at the top of my grinder list. We don't, contrary to popular belief, we don't use a CNC in the shop ever. And I would like to get into that. I had one on the floor a couple of years ago that I couldn't. It was around COVID time, and I just couldn't take the time to step away and kind of figure out how to make it work for me. So it's a big challenge in my life. So I would like to get into that at some point. And then third on my list, and probably more toward the top, is some kind. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, that guy. Dang, look at that.
Yes.
I don't nerd out a lot, but that is a good-looking grinder right there. It's got that flat LED light hanging there. It's so minimal. Like you can wipe that thing down. I am geeking out.
Dude, he's getting into it. He's like, yeah.
And that one has the cooling platen on it, so it's got a fan in that front section of the platen, so you don't overheat things. Yeah, I'm into that thing right there. I don't know what that. Don't bring up the price tag because that's gonna scare me away. But it's a good-looking grinder. But yeah,
Jay wants to know what kind of mills y'all use.
Man, nothing fancy. We mainly work on like an old Grizzly, like tabletop little mill. And then years ago I bought it's an adapted, and it's a horizontal mill of all things, that somebody put a Bridgeport vertical head on that I bought secondhand from a buddy that moved out of town. And I forget what the lower vertical part is. So it's a Bridgeport head on like a horizontal mill that we use for like planing things out mainly, just because the little one is so easy to get at, easy to change collets, easy to bounce from one thing to another. I would love to have one of those big Bridgeports on the floor, but I guess that's on my list too. I'd love a big, nice Bridgeport, but
Yeah, I think everybody that has a shop has like they're working with what they got, and maybe you've upgraded some stuff, but there's always something else. You're like, one of these days, just because it makes it easier on you, and whatever makes it easier, that's what guys want in their shop.
And I have friends that are really into tools. Like I love tools too. I know I can't always afford them. It's there's so many things to spend money on. Just maintaining the shop, right? Like maintaining my blasting cabinets and the surface grinders and all that stuff. It gets expensive. It's chasing the tail all the time.
I wish you could show him your shop, Mike, that you've been working on without losing your signal. Yeah, he's been working on that thing for weeks, working on his shop. Yeah.
What's your favorite tool in there?
Golly, that's a good question.
So
probably my buffer. Probably my buffer.
Buffer.
Yeah.
So my buddy Joey, Imperial Leatherworks. He's out here in Texas. I don't know if you know his work. He's got this thing. It's like a leather stamping machine, right? Like you put this. That too. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, but mine's not fancy because I'm geeking out on some bigger stuff too.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't put like the dies in there.
He's got the one with the dies. Yeah.
Mine's just primitive. It cost me like $70 on the Amazon. And you just pull it down. It's kind of crappy, but it works. And I plan on upgrading it. That's what we were talking about. Upgrading to make things easier. That one's kind of like a, entry level. This works.
Yeah, and it does pay off. When you get the better tooling and you can do things more efficiently, it ideally it does make you your money back. It just takes time and again, like the maintenance of it, right? It's not. I'd love for them to work perfectly all the time, but and unfortunately, it takes some time sometimes to get those things back to where they should be, especially when you're, like we are, we're grinding all the time, right? I mean, we're putting these things through their paces and you got to maintain them and then you got to, keep them running. And that's specifically like the rubber wheels on all of our grinders. Man, you'd be surprised how quickly you go. It's like rubber on a tire, they don't stay flat very long. You got to replace them and all that good stuff. But I could geek out on tools for a while. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you got a vacuum system, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it's kind
of
hard to go without that.
What's up?
It's kind of hard to go without a vacuum system with all that grinding.
Yeah, it's the first thing we put in when we set up our shop was, because it's kind of like anything. It's like, where do you start? We set up a dirty room with the door so that you could kind of keep the dust to a minimum and put in a big, I forget the brand off the top of my head. I should go look at it, like Vortex or something. It's hard to find a metal vacuum system, right? Most of them are made for wood and wood shops. So you got to get a lot of suction out of it to get all the metal out of there. Otherwise, you're just starting a fire. So, it's one of the hazards of metal work is all the metal dust floating around. And then we work with a lot of vintage materials. So
I noticed that like Tony Bowes. Who else? Who did we just have on the show? Oh gosh. Well, just
recently.
Yeah. Custom knife maker. Esnix.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
we had Evan on. Yeah.
I noticed that their shop is like this big.
Oh yeah.
It's not big. Like, what is yours?
Ours is pretty large, actually. I couldn't quote you square footage wise, but it's a pretty large, like, one of those steel, sheet warehouses. It's more space than we probably need, but it's nice, it's nice. Not in the summer when you have to cool it, but it's nice to have a little space. We started in a little garage, like everybody, a little single car garage, bouncing back and forth, and it's nice because you don't have to have that vacuum system. You just open the garage and put a fan out there or something. But yeah, we got a pretty big space. It's nice to be able to stretch out a little bit. And again, like Will stays in one half, I stay in the other. We we leave each other alone.
I will say
But
though, Evans was like super efficient the way he had
Yeah.
it with how small it was. Everything had a place. He shows the whole shop on the live. He walked us through the whole thing. Was showing
it
everybody.
doesn't surprise me at all, dude, because that dude, like, you've seen his work. Like, he is so efficient with what he does and detail oriented. I imagine that his shop is just as awesome.
Everything.
Yeah, he invited me out to his shop. He's like an hour and a half away from me.
Nice.
And
Really, Chris? I don't know.
yeah, I know, dude. I gotta get out there to go look at it, and because he wanted me to come out and do some filming out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, his shop looked freaking gnarly. I was like, whoa, dude.
He's truly one of the best, man. I'm always, I mean, he's on my list of knives I'd like to have. He does some really cool stuff.
I have one of his production models because I can't afford one of his customs, but I did get one of his.
The bottle, what is it? The one with the bottle opener on the back?
No, I got the Bull Buster, not the Beer Buster, but the Bull Buster one.
Right.
Yeah. So that one's got the front flipper, but without the bottle opener at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's pretty sick. I like that one.
I got the alcoholic version.
Yeah, the alcoholic version. Nice. Yeah, I love that thing too. And it was what we were talking about on the live. I don't know if I bought it before or after I had him on the live, because I think I bought one. Maybe it was after I had told him. It was the first, because I'm not a front flipper guy. I was like, this is the first front flipper I can actually flip.
Yeah.
Without having to like strain or try to figure it out. I could just do it. And he was like, that's why I wanted to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's huge. I am not a front flipper guy at all. Like it's one of, I have a couple customers and friends that are like, hey, just, you could just put a front flipper tab on the front of this blade. I'm like, no, man, I'm not doing that. It's hard to make a front flipper work well, to retain the blade and get
it really is
and all that stuff. Yeah. It
really is. And I am not a front flipper guy in the slightest. I don't like them. I don't tend to buy them. It doesn't really suit me. Or I'll take a flipper tab, but I won't take a front flipper like that. But I took a shot on his, and he was like, trust me, the way I have it designed at the top. And sure enough, I got it on the first try, and I was like, holy shit, okay. I
get
this.
The idea of it. Like I've talked to people about the design. What they like is that when you open it, the tab goes away, kind of like on the Fido, right? Like it's going to disappear as soon as you open it. Which I get it. It's a cool look, and it does serve its purpose. But making it work properly. We did a knife years and years ago with a South African designer named Joel Vitesi, and you find it online there once in a while, but. It's called a Camden, and so Joel designed it. Like I said, he's from South Africa. Beautiful design, but there were so many cool facets on it. He wanted us to make it by hand, and I was like, man, I can't do that. And so this is actually when I had just met Princeton Wong from what do you call it? Prince Customs. Yep, that's the Camden.
Okay. Sweet.
So Princeton Wong from Prince Customs is in Houston. We met at a knife meetup, and I was like, listen, I have this design, and I cannot pull it off efficiently. Like, would you be into doing it with me? And he's like, yeah. So this was like 5 years ago. Prince was just starting up, and we did this together. So he machined it. We did the grinds. Joel Vitesi designed it, and so there was a lot of stuff going on. So originally, Joel's South African. It was a front flipper. And we put it together, and it was like, man, I could not get it to front flip the way that I wanted it to. So the two prototypes we did had the thumb stud. And I was like, I'm just going to cop out, and we're going to do a thumb stud. And then the two guys that bought the two prototypes, one of them reached out, and he's like, hey, listen, I think you could still make this a front flipper if you embellish this tab at the top and make it a little bit easier to hit. So I was like, okay. So the final production one that we ran, and we only did like 50 of them, had this like, I don't know if there's a picture on there, Jay, of the like it closed. So there's a, you can see the flip. Yeah, well, that's the prototype actually. So that was one of the 2 prototypes. If you look at the top where it's closed at the pivot, there's just some jimping on there, but there's not like a hard edge on there. And
there's not. It's not protruding at all.
Yeah. No, that one had a hard time front flipping. So the final version had like a finger groove in there. Yeah, that was the prototype. Yeah, so I liked Joel's design with that jimping, was really cool, but you couldn't like it was really hard to hit. So we added some material up there on the final one, and it was cool. People liked it. You know, they were selling. It was just a lot to create, and it wasn't where I wanted to be at the time, so we stopped making them.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, dude. Like,
yeah,
front flippers for me, just I don't know. They don't speak to me like that. And if I'm gonna get something like that, then I'm gonna get the Fido, because Fido it hides the flipper tab just like I want it to, but it hits like a flipper like I want it to. You know.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thought process behind it.
Play with it.
Yeah, I want to play with it. Yeah, I'm like hyper focused on it now.
We'll make that happen. It is cool, and like you said, I mean, that's my play on it, right? Is like, and I like, there's a place for multiple deployment knives. I think they're really fun. Like, I enjoy them, but after the Stray, my first knife with the Stray, it was a multiple deployment knife, and it was really, it being my first knife that we were making, it was tough to get it to do all the things all the time and make it work well.
Right.
So I switched to just trying to design for single deployments, just to like, let's make it work every time. Let's make it hit the way you want it to, and then try to get back to multiple deployments. So like we have it, the Alpha's multiple deployment. It works really well. But yeah, it's a dance, man. It's like, you gotta, if it's gonna work well, it's got to work well all the different ways, and that's not easy to do.
So what are some of your favorite custom models that you've put out so far? Like, what are your like top 3 that you've done?
Top three. Okay. The Alpha is one. I don't know if you've seen our Alpha.
I'm having Jace pulling it up right now. I can see him down there doing it.
So we have the Alpha. That
looks gnarly.
Yeah, I think it was my second or third design I ever did. It is by far the one that put us kind of on the map as far as folding knives were. It's the most recognizable design that we have. I put that at the top of my list. I really like making them. Some knife geometries just work. Like, that's another thing in my journey that I've had fun with is designing different knives and figuring out different knife geometries, lockups, stop pins, stop tracks. The Alpha just worked, man. Like, it's like sometimes you're doing lockup and you get lock rock and you got to work it out. The Alphas do not. Like, they just always locked up really tight every time.
Solid.
Like, yeah. I love making that design. It was very, very rewarding.
I think this one was the first one that Mike seen whenever I was like, hey, we're going to have Keanison on the show. I think this was he was going through the Instagram. I think Alpha was the first knife that he seen. He goes, dude, that thing is crazy. He makes some crazy designs. This is going to be fun. And
there's a lot of things
about
that. So many things about that knife that like people are like, oh, don't do that. Like, you know, when you design a folding knife, keeping the blade at that angle, like people don't like that, you know, when it dips a little bit.
Yeah.
It just flowed for me. Yeah, there you go. That's a good picture. It just flowed for me. Like it's got a good grip on it. I like the blade shape. It worked really well. So the Alpha, that would be at the top of my list. That was a really fun one too, with the chaotic resin at the back. That's at the top. Number 2 would be our Bull Terrier.
Bull Terrier.
Yeah, the one I just showed you, either the handmade one or the production, like either one. That
was the other one. That's the other one. It's got
so those are our productions. And then Jay, if you go back, get out of that photo, there's one right here. Yep, That one with the round hole that's on top of the case. Yeah. So that's the
Dang.
handmade version with the spider hole in it.
That's awesome.
So that's got to be number 2 for me. Again, like some designs, when you sketch them and you draw them out and you bring them to life, it's like, oh man, this just worked. Like this, there's so many things about this that I enjoy. That was on my list of so many things about this I enjoy. So definitely number 2 on my list. Number 3 is going to be a tough one. It's like picking your third child. I have a lot of really fun designs. Wow, that's the stumper right there. I thought I had one in the but let's see. Jay, try the canine. See if you can get the canine. Yep. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So and actually that first one with the white background, that's Concept. They're about to release that in July. That's their production version of the canine.
I saw that. I saw the video for that. I was just about to ask you when that was going to release.
Yeah.
Yes.
They said July, hopefully.
I'll be getting one of those.
Super fun design. We're not the first to do it, but we do it a lot. This rear bolster kind of thing. That one's not a bolster. That's a frame. But there you go. Like we do that rear bolster on a lot of things. I think we're pretty well known for it, but I like this design for the accessibility of the blade. So you get to use at least 90 to 95% of this blade when you grip the knife. It's kind of like a kitchen utensil kind of thing. Actually, Neil Kamimura approached me years ago about making a folding kitchen knife because he was like, man, that knife you make, like I think you could use a lot of that, for kitchen purposes.
Oh, that would be perfect in the kitchen just because you keep your fingers off the table.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put a full grip on the handle and still use the blade.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be number 3. It's one of those also very unique, like you don't see that everywhere kind of thing. So
That's
I guess
hard.
number 4 would be our Stray. I think it's a toss up between the canine and the Stray, but yep.
Nice.
That one's close to my heart. So that was the first design I ever created, was the Stray. And
that was your first design that you ever did?
Yep. It was very much inspired by if you ever seen the Giant Mouse GM1, the GMP one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's got that similar vibe to it. But so this upward grind is something we're really known for these days. But the story is that I designed this knife and I sketched that grind and I was like, oh, this would be really cool. Not at all knowing that it's really damn near impossible to pull that off, where you grind around the choil and you pull it up at that angle. Like, it's not impossible. It's just a very difficult grind, especially to start with. So it was extremely challenging to pull off. But now that's kind of what we play with, is that upward sweeping grind on most of our stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What material? Like I'm seeing a lot of exotic materials and stuff on your knives. What are some of your favorite exotic materials to work with? And then what are some of your most hated exotic materials that you hate working with?
Good question. So favorites, it's really hard. It's really tough. I love materials. That was one of the things that got me into knife making, was playing with different materials. I really wanted to play with Damascus and black Damascus and Zircotite and all that stuff, and I couldn't afford the knives with it on there. So I wanted to, like, that we just put them together kind of thing. Right.
Right. Can't afford it. Just make my own.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love that stuff. I mean, I love Chad Nichols' dark tie. That's probably one of my favorite things to sand and heat and play with. And then my buddy Matt, Hunter from Hawk's Nest EDC, he's kind of well known throughout our community for selling really strange exotic materials. He's a crazy material hoarder, and he's just super knowledgeable about it. And he's a good friend of mine. He lives out here in Austin. So he's always dropping something new in my bucket and saying like, here, try this, or this is really cool.
Right.
So that's why you see a lot of different combinations, and we became really well known for kind of the material combinations and matching things together. Um, so as far as the vintage stuff, I really like some of the linen micartas. You know, some of the old vintage stuff like Westinghouse
Me
linen
too.
micartas. Yeah, where you
Yes.
can see like the weave in them and stuff.
Yes.
Uh, it's really fun to work with. I like the textures. I like the colors. That's definitely on the top of my list of materials to work. And the older stuff is really stable for the most part. When you get into some of the newer micartas or some of the other materials, what ends up happening is as you heat it up, they start to like pick up. Um, and that gets real irritating. So at the second part of that question, what do I hate working with? It's all the materials that start picking up on me when I'm almost finished working this thing and the two corners at the end won't stay down. I hate all of those.
Right.
And I can't name them off the top of my head, or I probably could, but I'm going to offend somebody. So I'm going to leave that there. But that's what, and they should probably all be lined and backed and all that. But it's not like fixed blades. You know, fixed blades, you throw some glue on there and you clamp it down and it kind of stays there. Folding knives, you try not to use glue, right? Especially on the
Yeah.
scales. So it's all got to sit flat. But yeah, that's my favorite stuff. Definitely Dark Tie from Chad Nichols. It's beautiful. You heat it, you anodize it. I mean, I love playing with those materials. Zirconium, it's top of my list, man.
I mean, I'm just looking at your photos and I'm just seeing a ton of exotic materials on there, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's got to be. I was like, he's got to have some favorites in there.
Yeah.
We
Some
rarely
blade,
use the same stuff, man.
Yeah.
the blade
Yeah.
finishes and everything like that too. Ridiculous. How much time
Thanks,
do you
man.
spend like experimenting?
Not as much as I'd like. I find that, and maybe you can relate here. I find that a lot of my experimenting happens out of necessity. Um, there's the Instagram page. A lot of my experimenting happens out of necessity when something's not going right. For example, like blade etches, where you get some of the more exotic blade etches because something's not working right, and you're resanding it and going back and etching a little bit longer than you'd like to, or doing something a little different. Jay, can you click on that one with the satin blade in the middle of it with the red carbon? Yep, that one there. This is our newest design that we just did a prototype for Blade Show Texas. I think
That's
we're gonna
awesome.
call it the Dogo. That's a really fun design. But yeah, I don't get a lot of time. It's really difficult to experiment, specifically with like Damascus steels and these Damascus. You spend so long polishing it, right? Like you can't experiment on a Damascus billet if you haven't sanded the ever loving crap out of it, and then polished it or whatever you're going to do. So once you get to that point, it's kind of disheartening to say now I'm going to go etch this thing in a way that I don't know is going to work. So you kind of find some of those things by accident a lot of the time. So the answer is not as much as I'd like, but I find that one of the things you end up working through as a professional maker is not getting so pissed off that you didn't get what you wanted, but kind of rolling with it and saying, okay, well, this isn't what I planned for this, but let's see what we can do with it, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then
Right.
hope that people are into it. I love the pocket clip on that guy right there.
I do
I do too.
I like doing pocket clips. That one came out really nicely.
So there's like a trend I see happening, which I don't know how big it is. It's just stuff I see like scrolling through Instagram. But people are doing some pretty cool stuff with finishes like, and this may be old and I just starting to see it, but like mirrored swedges, and then the like the scaled heat treat swedges, things like that,
Yeah.
and leaving that. Have you thought
Yeah.
about any of that?
I hate mirror polishing. There's a guy that is on my page there with a bull terrier, not too far back. Sorry, my car's yelling at me. Not too far back on my Instagram. It's got a lot of likes on it, but it's a bull terrier, and he did that. He polished the top swedge, and he did a mirror polish all the way around the all the way around this grind, the edge on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna find it in there. It's not too far down. Right there. He's holding it with the black glove.
I think that looks sick, dude. My
Check
God.
that out.
That is freaking insane.
Dude, it's really good. I don't know this guy that did this. He just posted it up there, but beautiful work. I mean, absolutely incredible. That would take me a little while to figure out how to do that. That's a lot of very interesting work there.
I'm about 100% sure he done that on a fixed angle shortener.
Well, I mean, and he kept the primary grind really crisp. Like he didn't go back and touch it. Like it's really, he did an excellent job doing that.
That's ridiculous.
That is beautiful,
isn't it? It's really cool. It got a lot of likes. It got a lot of attention. It's one of those things like you have to. It takes so much time. I mean, that was not let's just throw this in there kind of thing. And this might be a controversial comment here. One of the things as a maker that's really difficult about doing something like that is you have a perfectly good knife, right? Like it's awesome. You can sharpen this. Somebody can use it. It's just what you wanted it to be. And then you got to go do something like that could completely screw it up, right? Like you can mess up a really good knife, taking it a little bit too far, doing something you've never done before. And then you get so frustrated because it's like, damn, what did I do? Like this was just as good when I, 4.5 hours ago when I had it in this good place. So it takes a little bit of let's just kind of see where we can take this or screw it into the ground kind of attitude sometimes to get something like that. But he did a killer job on that.
You got to kind of like pick your battles, Yeah.
Exactly, dude. That well said. Yes, pick your battles. Choose and do what you do well. Like this guy does this very well. If somebody said, "Hey, I want that," I'd be like, "This dude does it. I'm gonna send it to him.
Yeah.
We'll let him do that, and I'll do what I do."
I can't stop looking at it. It's freaking.
I can't stop really looking at it either, dude. It's so like eye catching. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It gets a lot of attention, right? But like, I don't know how he did that.
That is gorgeous.
Get one and send it to that guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't it? It's not the only one he does that on, obviously. He does it on other knives, but it's got
that just came out great. Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Good for him, man.
Yep.
Dude.
Now, some of the scale stuff you're talking about, Mike, like some of that other finishes, I like that stuff. I like that's a process kind of thing. Like I enjoy doing that. I think that is more in my wheelhouse than that polish stuff. Like you can really screw up a knife with that polish on there, but I do like some of the other finishes and leaving the scale on and doing some of the rougher cool stuff like Strider does on some of their stuff. I love all their finishes. Like, super useful. Like that polish, I feel like if I look at that polish funny, even getting it out the door, I'm gonna scratch that thing 4 times just trying to get it out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I look at it wrong. It's gonna get fingerprint.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wipe it 10 times, and then I look at it and I scratched it, and then I gotta have to do it again.
Yeah.
Versus some of that more durable stuff, and it's like, I mean, this is kind of the vibe, and I'm not gonna screw it up putting it in the box.
That's why I'm more of like a hand satin type of guy, or even a belt satin type of guy, because I don't really have to worry about that,
I'm going to address this question about the mirror polish. I do think the mirror polish does help with the edge. Sometimes it can cut through things easier because there's no resistance on it. But on the rest of the knife, I would say it's purely aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really cool too. I mean, I'm not discounting that at all. I just haven't found that amazing way that people polish the ever-loving crap out of things. It's time-consuming and frustrating, and I've done it before. I just sit there by hand with sandpaper, man. It takes me hours. I don't know.
I think on a knife, my preference is 95% of the time more rustic. Anything that I can use, and then I look at it, it don't look like I've done anything.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the patina. I like, more. Everybody knows I like patina, but I like the rustic feeling and I can just throw it in my pocket. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Right. 90% of the time, if I do like a mirror polish, and I don't, it doesn't look like that. But if I spend the time to polish something out, I throw it in the tumbler right after just to get like at least a texture on it.
Yeah.
Because again, I know that as soon as I pull that thing out or I put it together, I'm going to leave a smudge, and then I'm going to wipe it, and then I ruined it. And it just like, this is a me thing. Like, I'm just not that meticulous.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the type of mirror polish I do like. The DLC mirror polish.
Yeah,
I do like.
I'm a fan of
Those
that too.
are sick.
Yeah,
I
can
like
get into
those.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like those.
true.
Having a mirror finish on high carbon steel, also how to prevent corrosion. Yeah.
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 That's true. I mean, I don't know if it does prevent it a little bit, but you also can't see the rust right away. I've had some carbon steel polish blades where it's like, I didn't see it, and then all of a sudden that rust spot showed up, and so. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So going back to movies.
Movies.
What are you said you're a big movie buff? We're movie people.
Dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Give us top five. Top five.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a really tough question.
Well, it's five. I didn't say your favorite.
Oh man, I mean, is this going to be like? I almost need a genre, but like, I'll tell you why this is a tough question, because like people judge you on your top 5 movies. Like this is
I know.
like a personality
On the
test.
internet.
Right
I
now.
know, and we're fully ready to judge you.
Oh man, top 5 movies, like things that I watch all. Man, this is gonna be a tough one. I watch so many movies. This is kind of like food. Like I don't really discriminate. I like movies a lot. I will say I really like stupid movies. Like I like to laugh. I like to get out of my head a little bit.
So do we. Yeah.
So somewhere on that list is going to be like 3 Adam Sandler movies. No, probably. There's going to be an Adam Sandler. I grew up watching a lot of Billy Madison, so I'm going to have to put Billy Madison up there somewhere.
That's perfect.
Probably. Oh, okay. Totally different genre, but Casino is on my list.
Okay.
I like Casino. And probably in that same vein is going to be Goodfellas. There's definitely a vibe going on here, but Goodfellas, Casino, Billy Madison. What else? Man, that's a tough question. This is where you give people notes before, like when we talked before, you needed to prep me for this. So I had this one in the pipe. What else?
This is where it makes it fun, because
Right.
it's stop prep. That's what makes it fun.
I'm gonna jump here and I'm gonna put Predator in there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Predator, yes.
Just because I like
Arnold.
that's a classic. I'm gonna throw Predator in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th one. This was like the 3rd favorite knife. It's always the last one that's the hardest. Man, I'm stumped on the 5th one.
Let's just say your wife never watched a movie in her life, and you're like, "This is the one you got to watch."
See, I feel like I would like have to like thumb through some old DVDs or something to find. Oh, okay, I got it. It's probably not the one that my wife would watch, but I really like the movie Pool Hall Junkies. Or
Okay.
Rounders. Those are two good ones. Pool Hall Junkies or Rounders. That's going to be on there.
So we're big Top Gun fans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We actually collaborated on a knife and then named it the Maverick.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
My cousin is very close to me. My cousin Luke, he grew up. That was his favorite movie growing up. I mean, very young. His parents didn't let. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, his parents didn't let him watch Ninja Turtles, but he could watch Top Gun, and they would obviously fast forward through that one scene where they're not Top Gunning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're right.
Or they're not Top Gun.
Top Gun.
It's Top Gunning.
Yeah, but watched Top Gun endlessly as a kid, like over and over and over. So I will put that up there for you guys. But like I probably played that one out a little bit as a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. We're huge Top Gun fans. Roadhouse, and we quote Step Brothers all the time to each other.
Did we just become best friends?
Yes. We might do it freaking every day of the week. We're quoting Step Brothers to each other.
Awesome.
Very nice. Those are all good ones
Hey,
too. Yeah,
I kid you not. I kid you not. We got on a business call with a guy. And I was like, "Hey, my name's Chris. I'm Grady's Gear." And Mike goes, "I'm Richter Knives, but you got to call me Nighthawk." And the thing is, the dude didn't laugh. He did not think that was funny at all.
He didn't like it, huh? No.
He just stared at him, and I'm like trying not to laugh.
Did he call you Nighthawk?
No.
No. Oh,
No, he just stared him down, and I was like, oh, we got off that call, and I died laughing at Mike. He goes, "I'm never doing that again." He goes, "I thought he'd get the reference."
I was trying to
One more
gauge
time,
his sense of humor, man.
You got it. You got it. It's not there.
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm Richter Knives, but you got to call me Nighthawk."
Yep. That didn't work out, huh? I like it.
Dude, that was funny as hell. But yeah, we designed this knife and called it the Maverick. Yeah, we designed this with Waxwing, and we'll be working on another one soon. We'll be working on Iceman soon. Yep. So that'll
Definitely
be fun.
a theme there. Definitely a theme.
Oh yeah, you got your theme.
Yeah.
We found ours. We were like, oh yeah, let's do that.
It's important, man. You gotta get that all things cohesive there.
Yeah, dude, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. But yeah, dude, we've been on for a little over an hour. We don't want to keep you for too long, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get ready to call it here in a minute. So before you go though, where can everybody find you? Instagram, your website? Is that where?
Yep. KeanisonKnives.com. Scrolling there at the bottom. That's our website. And then at Keanison Knives on Instagram. That's usually where you see the new stuff. I'm pretty good at posting on there. Terrible at Facebook. Tried to do the Twitter, and I lag on that too. So Instagram is probably the best place to find what we're doing. That one right there. Except no substitutes, because there's a lot of fake accounts out there that Instagram allows. But
yeah, y'all beware of the fake
OG
accounts out there.
Yep, right. Scammers.
Right.
But yeah, KeanisonKnives.com. And then, there's some vendors out there, EDC Lifestyle, and a couple other guys that carry our product that you can hit up if you're looking for something unique.
Do you have those? Do you have those vendors linked on your website?
I do not, honestly. They're probably shared on a couple posts here on Instagram, but I should probably do that, huh, Chris? Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Threw me right under the bus on that one. Yes, vendors, I have you tagged on my website.
My bad, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. Did you see it hit me? Like, oh, that's probably something I should do. Yeah.
My bad.
No, we're good. We're good. They're still good guys. They'll probably still buy knives from me, please. and e-knives. We saw e-knives on there too. We already plugged them.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it was great hanging out with you tonight, man. Guys, thank you in the chat for hanging out with us. Brian was an awesome guest, and we just had an awesome time with you guys. Mike, you got anything you want to say and close this out real quick?
No, hey, appreciate everybody hopping on here. Don't forget next week also, same bat time, same bat place, Nomad EDC, Friday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And appreciate you, man, coming on here. It was awesome. It was fun. Got to get to know you, and that's always cool. Get to know one more person in the knife community, and it's fun, man.
Yeah, that was a good time, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Brian, hang out with us whenever we close this out, all right?
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Awkward.